YouTube, back in the shop for Instrumentation Mount number 2. So we're going to get spooled up here. Let's get with it. By the way, I wanted to point out, I don't know if anybody noticed my palette. You know, I snagged this off the street before some DIY YouTube hipster can make a bar or coffee table out of it. I mean, what's a man to do without a steady supply of pallets? You know, besides remodel his own house. Anyway, just wanted you to see that. It adds just about the perfect amount of height. I can reach the top of the drawbar pretty easy. Drawbar wrench. And, you know, controls are right here. Everything's at hand. Much better visibility, so I'm really digging it. Plus, the chips just kind of filter on down to the bottom unless I got to haul the whole thing out and sweep it out. So anyway, let's get back with it. All right, we're over at the big KT. We've got the block in the mill here. And we're going to carve these corners away just as a little semicircular recess, just to ease this corner. And what we're going to use is we're going to use one of the big old Mondo cutters that was supplied to me in the Niagara giveaway here recently. And I'm a big fan of Niagara tooling. Been a big user of their tooling for quite some time, and this is going to be, you know, a pleasure for sure. And I want to show you some appropriate gear for handling cutters like this, and you'll see why here in just a second. Let's do it this way. Here we go. This is a beauty. This is a 2-inch, looks like about 5 inches of cutting edge. Total length is about 8-9 inches. It's a cobalt high-speed steel with a 2-inch shank, and this is a 2-inch holder. And the reason I've got these gloves is because these edges will slice you wide open. All right, set screws are in the back. Right. Go. Now let me tell you something. Don't play around with that set screw. Get right with it. All right, there we go. I gotta tell you, that is a thing of beauty. All right, let me get the machine cranked up. All right. So we're going to move well, did you see that? See the part climbing up out of there? That was an eye-opener, wasn't it? Alright, that's what we're looking for right there, just a little notch. They feel like aluminum wrapping paper. So that tool certainly makes a nice chip. There's almost no sound in the cut. You almost can't hear a thing. Just, you know, has a little buzzing sound, and then the metal just comes off like that. What a beauty. What a beautiful tool. Certainly, to someone that really appreciates this kind of thing, the grinding in here is artwork. It's beautiful and capable. So now we're going to have to turn this thing around. We're going to have to set up a little differently. We're going to have to cut 3/4 of an inch in all the way up here in order to make our 1 inch wide body. Here's the little relief there, just to kind of make that end look a little better. And like I said, now we're going to have to cut way back here, so I got to figure out how we're going to hold it. All right, here we go. We're going to touch off. We're going to move over. I think I'm going to do 3/8 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 inch in the first pass. We're going to cut on up. I think I'm going to set a stop just so I can be consistent side to side. And let me get the machine cranked up and we'll start making a serious mess. For those that want to know, we're running 216 RPM. That looks really close back there, but I actually got about an inch of free room between the back of the vise and the column. But I'm just going to touch off here. Now I'm going to go down the other end of the table and feed it in a ½ inch. I'll be back in about 30 minutes. That's a joke. Well, I decided just to stick with a quarter, one turn of the handle. So I just wanted to check to see if the flutes are loading up with chips. They don't appear to be. We kick it up to a higher RPM. This is 324 RPM. Try that one more time. We're going to make a serious mess here. Alright, so we've made one pass all the way down this back side and made our cut. Now we're switched around the other side. And we've used this cutter here, supplied by Niagara in their generosity in their tool giveaway. And now we're going to try a different one. We're going to kind of compare and contrast. The next cutter we're going to use is something that a lot of people might find a little more approachable. This is a Cobalt 1.5 inch by with a 1 1/4 inch shank, 1.5 inch cutting diameter, 6 flute with there you go, roughing end mill. So we're going to hit it with this one next. A 3 flute rougher would have been real interesting. I don't have a 3 flute rougher that'll make this pass in one pass like this. But what we're going to do now is we're going to dismount this beautiful piece of equipment here before we get going crazy. Better get my razor sharp end mill handling glove on. Oh, that one's still tight. Oh, look at that air suction. There we go. I'll tell you right now, this cutter's a lot cooler than that piece of aluminum. But this thing feels like it's never been used, right? Sharp as can be. Well, in effect, it really hasn't been. So we're going to put it up. Let me see if I got a part number on here. Okay, see if you can read this. It's Niagara 2-inch VFP1 M42 high-speed steel. I believe that's the part number there, 4929380. Anyway, they have this thing in the catalog spec'd for, you know, titanium, stainless, all sorts of difficult alloys. I wasn't exactly what you would call taxing this thing in any way. So we're going to put this up. I'm going to have to change the tool holder out, so I'm not going to make you go through that process. It's just manual labor listening to an old man grunt. So give me a few minutes and I'll be right back with you. Alrighty. Here we go with version 2. Make sure that it grabs the flat. Otherwise, it's coming out. We're going to start off at the same speed we started with the big mill. And then we're going to start increasing our feeds and speeds until we get something comfortable. That's a pretty nice cut right there. close and personal. Beautiful cut. Not nearly as hot as with the other cutter. The rougher is moving more material away and we're not spinning it as fast. But absolutely looks fantastic. Tool sharp as can be. We're going to take one more pass and that's going to be it. Taking a light pass here. I went ahead and bumped the feet up. That's 1.5 inches a minute. 1.8. I'll be putting a few too many chips up on there. Alrighty. Well, I think we hit our Hog'n quotient for the evening. How about we what is that? Whew. That's where I sped the feed up to 1.8, and it was a lot happier at 1.3. Anyway, let's convene back to the bench. Well, there we go. That's instrument mount number 2. It's got a deburr and clean up a little bit, but kind of looks like a little connecting rod, doesn't it? I guess I could trim a little more off of there, but this will work. So anyway, obviously here, number 1, thanks to Niagara for the wonderful tooling, and we're going to put it into use here. And you know, it's nice to be able to experiment with things like that. You know, it's just obviously the case with the first mill that, you know, that thing's designed to go on some 50 taper VMC with, you know, 75 horsepower and you know, 10, 12,000 RPM, something like that. You know, it's we weren't able to optimally, and I will play with it some more in the future. But that rougher was really getting the job done, and you know, no stress, no drama. Niagara's cobalt rougghers are the best. I mean, nobody makes a rougher that can touch that, especially for the money. You know, I mean, it's not a carbide rougher, right? It's cobalt. It's M42 cobalt high-speed steel. All Niagara's roughers are cobalt. You'll notice that if you look through their catalog. Links down below to Niagara's website. Links to the pages with the tooling, specific tooling that we were using in this video. All that's left to do on this baby is drill and tap the back and then mount it up. So we're going to do that in the next video, which will be instrument mount number 3, and this will show you, you know, where it's going, give you some kind of context for the project. We do a lot of projects. Sometimes you don't get a lot of context, but you will now. So you'll get to see the whole thing fabbed up. And another company that I love a whole lot, Noga, stuff's the bomb. And there you go. Anyway, I am super glad to be back. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks for all the welcome. The outpouring of welcome has just been fantastic. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking with my friends. And I'm glad to be talking with my viewers. My viewers are friends. You know, simple as that. Even if I don't know you, sure feels like we're friends, doesn't it? And that's the way I want it to be. So, anyway, just super glad to be back in the shop. I'm ready to keep doing it, keep working in the shop, keep putting the videos out. So, you know, another one coming real soon. So look for instrument mount number 3 in the extremely near future. Be safe in the shop, and I'll be back with you soon.